This usually starts quietly, not with a breakup, not with rejection, but with a moment most men don't even notice. You send a message, then you wait. Minutes turn into hours. Your mind begins to fill the silence. You reread the conversation. You analyze your tone. You imagine outcomes that haven't happened yet. And without realizing it, something shifts inside you. Your emotional state is no longer under your control. This is where the mistake begins, and most men never recognize it as the real problem. Welcome to the Male Code. Before we go deeper, if you find yourself relating to this kind of mental loop, quietly like the video and subscribe, not as a favor, but because this channel exists to help men understand the patterns that quietly shape their confidence, attraction, and emotional control in modern life. The mistake that weakens men mentally in modern dating is not caring too much, and it's not being emotional. It's allowing uncertainty to hijack your inner stability. Modern dating creates constant ambiguity, delayed replies, mixed signals, sudden distance. The male brain is wired to solve problems, so when clarity disappears, the mind starts working overtime. Overthinking feels productive, but it isn't. It slowly trains your nervous system to stay in a state of alert, anticipation, and emotional dependency. Later, you'll understand why this matters more than you think. Here's what most men misunderstand. Emotional strength is not about suppressing feelings. It's about maintaining internal balance when external feedback is unclear. Men who appear calm and confident are not emotionless. They simply don't let unanswered questions dictate their self-worth. When your mood rises and falls based on someone else's attention, you hand over psychological control. And attraction quietly fades in that space. Modern dating amplifies this problem because access is constant. You can see when someone is online. You can see when they viewed something. The mind starts creating stories without evidence. This is where men slowly lose their center. Not because they care, but because they don't know how to pause. Later in this video, you'll see how the pause becomes one of the most powerful tools a man can develop. Confidence is often misunderstood as boldness or dominance. In reality, confidence is emotional self-containment. It's the ability to feel interest without attachment, curiosity without anxiety, and desire without urgency. Men who master this don't chase clarity. They allow it to reveal itself. This subtle difference changes how people respond to them, even if nothing else changes on the surface. Another hidden factor is identity drift. When dating outcomes begin to influence how you see yourself, your identity becomes reactive. A good interaction makes you feel elevated. A slow response makes you feel uncertain. Over time, this creates emotional instability. The strongest men don't build identity around outcomes. They build it around internal consistency. This is one of the core principles behind the Male Code, even if it's rarely spoken about directly. Rejection plays a role here too, but not in the way most men think. Rejection doesn't hurt because of loss. It hurts because it disrupts expectation. The mind struggles more with unpredictability than with failure. Men who recover quickly from rejection are not numb. They simply don't personalize unpredictability. They understand that interest is influenced by timing, emotional alignment, and circumstances that are often invisible. Overthinking is the mind's attempt to regain control where it feels powerless. But control doesn't come from analysis. It comes from grounding. Grounding is the ability to return attention to what is real and present. Your breath, your body, your immediate actions. When men practice grounding, emotional spikes lose their intensity. The mind becomes quieter, not because thoughts disappear, but because they lose authority. This is why silence and space are not weaknesses. They are stabilizers. Men who don't rush to fill gaps project emotional security. In dating, this is often misinterpreted as mystery, but it's simply inner regulation. Later, you'll notice how this same principle applies far beyond dating into work, decision-making, and leadership. Another subtle shift happens when men stop trying to control perception. Trying to manage how you are seen creates tension. When you focus instead on how you experience yourself, interactions become lighter. People respond more openly to men who are internally settled. Attraction grows in emotional safety, not pressure. The goal is not to stop thinking. The goal is to stop letting thoughts control your state. Thoughts are events, not commands. When you learn to observe them without reacting, you regain psychological authority. This takes practice, not force. Short moments of awareness, repeated, consistently reshape mental habits. As this awareness grows, something interesting happens. You stop needing constant validation. You become selective with attention. Your reactions slow down, and without trying, your presence changes. People feel it, even if they can't explain it. This is where confidence becomes quiet and durable. If you've experienced moments where overthinking drained your energy or altered your behavior, reflect on that. What was the uncertainty you were reacting to? What would have changed if you had paused instead of chased clarity? Share your thoughts in the comments. These reflections help other men recognize patterns they may be stuck in. If this perspective resonated with you, consider sharing the video with someone who might need it. The male code isn't about becoming someone else. It's about understanding the internal rules that quietly shape how men experience attraction, rejection, and emotional control. When you stop making this one mistake, mental strength stops being something you chase. It becomes something you carry,